president of the South End Civic Association, Leo Florian. Leo, thank you for coming out. You know, why am I here?
I don't know.
I have no idea exactly. You know, I just got back from a meeting, it was just down the road on Florence Street, where they were discussing what we're going to do with $21.8 million. I had a few suggestions, but they didn't like my suggestions. But anyways, our city is at a changing point right now. Every decision that we make, however small or however large, will affect the way our lives are, our children's lives, and our grandchildren's lives. And when I came back, you know, most of you know me. Joined the military, joined the seminary, did that whole thing for 7 years, left that, came home. My father wouldn't hire me, so I had to find another job somewhere. I didn't want to be a roofer again, with all due respect. I want to go high places, but not on a roof. Anyways, so in discussion with him, after a few, you know, maybe sambucas once in a while, we discussed the actuality of opening the bakery down in our neighborhood. And we looked at many locations, in Springfield, outside of Springfield, in Ludlow, even out in the Berkshires. And I said, Pop, why don't we stay in our neighborhood? So we found a place not even a block away from us, a place that was really turned down, wasn't a good-looking place. It was unkept for about a year before we went there. And we said, what kind of business do we want? First we said bakery, then I said, you know, along with two of my best friends, Nunzio and Santino, we had conversations about what should we have, and we said, how about a coffee shop? A coffee shop's a positive place. A coffee shop allows people to come together and have conversations. Coffee shops were illegal in most countries because of political revolutions, religious revolutions that occurred there, because it gave people an open spot to have conversation. Us as Americans, in particular as an Italian, we love to talk. I love to talk. I can talk. I don't even need a speech. I just have some names down. But we have to make sure what we're talking about is real. What we're talking about is true, and what we're talking about has virtue attached to it. And unfortunately, a lot of the conversations that happen in Springfield are not virtuous. A lot of conversations are about pleasing friends, are about backroom deals, are about caring about the self rather than serving the other. And for those reasons, I decided that Springfield needs to get cleaned up. You know, every morning I get to the bakery, first thing I do is I pray and I thank God that, you know, my sisters didn't leave the building unlocked, and that I still have my register, which, you know, almost every day I'm good with that. But I also put an apron on. Now I put an apron on for practical reasons. Health code makes me. I have to keep my clothes clean, and I want to look like I'm working. But I notice that when people have their job at home, and then they go out to the public, they wear a different set of clothes for the most part. And what I see is some of our counselors, although good-intended people, some of our politicians in general, they like to wear the suit and tie wherever they go. Well, I can guarantee you my apron is not going to come off once I'm in city council. There's a lot of work that needs to get done. There's a lot of dirty spots that need to get cleaned up, and I think I'm the guy for the job. The city of Springfield needs somebody who works, somebody who can hire someone and fire them if they're not doing their job correctly. Springfield needs to know what it's like to write a check and just decide, do I pay my taxes, do I pay my electric bill, or do I pay my employee who's poor and doesn't have any other source of income? Our city needs to understand economic development, that if the neighborhoods are not safe and clean and joyful, our businesses are going to suffer. My business, Rico's business, John DeCaesar's business, everyone's businesses are going to suffer. And they're suffering right now. They're suffering because the city doesn't get it. They don't understand how close-knitted everything is in our city. Whether it's our police officers, understanding that they have their back covered by their leaders. Whether it is by our citizens, knowing that the police care about them and only intend good out of our neighborhoods. Whether it's the businessman who can count on Mrs. Maloney that lives next door to come in and buy a cup of coffee every day so that businessman can pay his bills. Whether it's just neighbor helping neighbor. One neighbor doesn't mow their lawn, go over and mow his lawn. It's not going to kill you. Our city has become too big of a city. We need to calm down a little bit. We need to focus back on our neighborhoods. We need to focus on all the neighborhoods of Ward 3, not just Six Corners, not just Maple Heights, not just the South End, not just Forest Park, but the whole neighborhood together. That's the only way we're going to build camaraderie. It's the only way we're going to build relationships within our city. It's the only way we're going to actually know our neighbor's name. When I was brought up, you know, I had a really interesting experience. Being in a house with my mother, my father, my 3 sisters, and my grandmother from Italy, we didn't have it easy. We went through a lot of struggles. I remember my father, when he'd get up in the morning at 5 a.m. and come home at 5, 6 p.m. and just want to go to bed and not talk. I remember having my mother come home at midnight after working at CVS and going to bed and not really having that sense of relationship with us. That was tough. But we were a family. We knew that we had to sit together and eat together. We knew that I was accountable for whatever actions I've done. I knew that if I disrespected someone or if I lied, my mother would break a wooden spoon over my fanny like no tomorrow. But that built our family, and that taught us the way we act in public, the way we treat others. One of my favorite stories, one probably formed me into the man I am today, was one day my older sister Jen, much older sister Jen, and my father were walking to CVS at the X. We live right in the neighborhood. And my father said, if you walk with us, we'll go to Dunkin' Donuts. Sal's didn't exist, so we went to Dunkin' Donuts. And he said, if you come with us, we'll go get a hot chocolate. So I said, okay, Pop. So my sister Jen and I walked with my father holding hands. And on the way back, in one of the alleyways on Sumner Avenue, there was an older lady there, hunched over with a blanket over her. And my father told us, say, wait right here, kids. Took a $20 bill. Now, that was still a lot of money to me, but that was a lot of money back then. He took it out, and he walked over, and he knelt down, and he gave it to her. Then he spent a few moments there. Then he walked back, and I looked at him, I looked at him like he was crazy. I said, Pop, why did you do that? What was the purpose of that? He said, Sal, it was the right thing to do. That formed me into a sense of love and devotion for all of God's people. Whether they're poor, in particular, if they're poor, rich, black, white, doesn't matter. We are all children of God. And we all have a purpose, and we all have dignity. And the reason that some of our politicians forget that is because all they're thinking of is themselves, their own image, and their own future. I could care less about my image. I could care less about my future as long as I'm doing what is right for the little guy, for the little gal, or whoever it is that the people of Springfield entrust me to serve. That's the renewal we need in our city politics. Now, there's going to be a lot of conversations that happen after this. A lot of people are going to try to put me into an image, try to put a personality on me, that I'm rigid, that I'm too Catholic, that I'm a Republican, whatever that means in Springfield, I don't know. They're going to try to put me into this, I'm out of touch with reality because I'm from the big shot area of Forest Park, even though, I mean, I don't, how many times do we get robbed down in our, I don't know. The reality is, all those things are part of who I am. And all those things do not fully express who I am. Who I am is a person who cares. Who I am is a person who has a vision, a leader, and a visionary. I care and I have goals and I plan on making sure those goals are accomplished for the good of the people of Ward 3 and for the good of the people of Springfield. People can try to portray me however they are. All I can do is show who I am. All I can do is be honest, blunt, sometimes too blunt, and act the way that my parents, my Lord, formed me to be. That's all I can do. To sum up, in having conversations, today I just got back from one event. We go to all these different events all the time. And talking to the voter, you know, their concerns are the same as mine. Safe streets, good neighborhoods, being treated as normal, honest people, being represented with dignity and integrity and selfless service. Those are the things that people are yearning for. And it breaks my heart when I see the little old lady from the Gentile apartment. Not you, Marilyn, don't worry. You're not old, don't worry. Another, different old lady from the Gentile apartment say that she doesn't feel safe to go out. Having the young person from Forest Park on Wilmont Street say they don't want to go outside and play ball because they're afraid they may get shot. Having the person in Six Corners not even have a place to go grocery shopping, never mind have a place to play with their kids and show them what it means to be in a safe neighborhood. These are the problems that exist throughout our ward. And they need somebody who's going to listen, give them the time that's due to their own dignity. And I think I am the person for that. I thank you very much. I thank you very much for your attendance here. I appreciate your prayers. Now, I was in seminary for 7 years, so I can get preachy. But I also was taught how to ask for money. Where's my treasurer? Is there a basket we can pass around? No, in all honesty, you know, one of the unfortunate realities of running for office is the financial BS that exists. And it's unfortunate because that means a person who may not be popular, a person who's poor, cannot run for office. And that's an unfortunate reality, something I think the people of Springfield are fed up with, to be honest with you. But however, because I'm the new guy on the block, there is some advertising and marketing I do have to do. So I'd appreciate any contributions that you can make to the campaign, and understand that although our friendships will exist, don't think that, you know, I'm going to just do you a favor because you give me that. I think the politics of that generation are expired. You know, I know that each one of you have the understanding that our goal is not particular, our goal is general. So I thank you for that too. Now, there are a lot of people I can thank. Our committee is one of the most, I honestly think, some of the finest people I've ever worked with. And the great thing about our committee is none of us are politicians, because we can see clearly and we can see with eyes of innocence what the problems are in Springfield. I want to recognize a few of them. First of all, my right-hand man, Mike Zulch. A few seconds about Mike Zulch. Mike Zulch has came to me less than a year ago, got a job at the bakery, and his love and devotion to the city of Springfield and to the political process is really like none other. And I know he will be he'll be going to the Our Lady of the Elms College in just a couple months, and I know he'll have a very promising career. And it's good to have somebody I can trust to my right-hand side. Also, Ryan McGee, although he comes from the Elizabeth Warren camp, you know, what are you going to do? You know? She won, so I guess you're good to have on my side. Also, also Nunzio Bruno, I don't know if Nunzio's still here, but my treasurer, Nunzio, has been my friend and my right-hand man since we were little kids. My friend Justin, of course, over here, helping out. Mike King. Mike Perkins. We actually have an intern, Nate Barr, right there. So, I mean, look how organized I am. You see that? A good friend of mine, Nico's been helping out too, Nico Santinello. But, you know, I can't help but thank when he first came into my business, I didn't know if it was a curse or a blessing. He's been at my business every day, maybe twice a day, when I'm open, when I'm closed. He'll call me if I'm not open. He'll call me if I am open. It doesn't matter, he'll just call me and annoy me sometimes. But, you know, to be honest with you, Ray Caporale has been not only does Ray bust my chops every day and remind me of the virtue of humility, not only does Ray make fun of me whenever I bring up the Catholic or the political thing, not only does Ray bring a sense of joy and foundation to the bakery, but Ray has been very much a mentor to me. He's been a grandfather. You're not that old, Ray, I know, but you don't have a lot of hair. The one that you have is white. So, but no, Ray's been a great friend and really a mentor to all of us at the bakery. So, Ray, thank you very much for all you do. And to thank somebody very special, I'll ask the chairman of the committee to please come up.
Thank yous are always at the end, and they're always kind of small, but they do justice because they're very important. It's very important to remember the people that brought you here and, you know, encourage them. We all have talents that we can offer, whether it's an idea or a charitable contribution, and they're all very much appreciated. So I want to thank everybody for coming here, and especially. She didn't come. She organized all the food that you ate, the fact that we're already here, all the signs. She broke her back, and no, she didn't break her back. She broke her back and went over here just to make sure that everybody, you know, was accommodated and have a great time. And it is our event coordinator, Amber Guppi.
So to conclude, Amber is also a sergeant in the Army National Guard. She's a hero. She's been to Iraq and she's going for a deployment possibly to Guantanamo Bay. So thank you very much. So once again, thank you. You'll be seeing me a lot. You'll be getting letters from me asking for more money. So don't worry, you'll get more than enough of me. I'll be here all night. Please. Help yourself to the food, help yourself to the drinks, and most importantly, to have good conversation with one another. We have some, you know, really celebrities. Mayor Ryan's here, one of the wisest, most loyal Springfield residents we've ever had. I recommend everyone right in here for a little bit and talk with him. And thank you so much. God bless you. And thank you for coming.
Yes,